What's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing awesome. So today we're going to go over a very important topic, which is how to check if an NFT game is actually growing. So this is important because oftentimes these NFT games, to really market themselves, they really inflate their numbers and they don't tell the actual amounts of active users. So in this video, we're going to show you how to actually do that. So let's get into it. Before we do, just know that this is all speculation. Don't invest more than what you can lose. Assume that you will lose everything and you want to get rich quick, especially in a high risk field such as NFT gaming. 99% of these games will fail. And please do your research. Don't trust random people like me off the internet with your financial well-being. By the time you hear about it on social media, it's probably too late. Okay, so let's get into it. So first off, why do we monitor growth? So if a game isn't growing users, it won't succeed long term, right? Because not that many users, then the team's like, oh, okay, this project's a fail. Let's move on to another one. Same as investors too. So what happens when that happens? There's a higher chance of the team and big investors dumping their tokens as soon as possible. So as soon as their vesting period's open, they dump it, which means there's less room for token growth. And since NFT gaming is such a booming field, more and more games will keep coming out that'll be higher and higher quality. So if a game isn't growing, it's not creating that passionate community, then it's going to be left behind in the dust. Second, as mentioned before, games often give inflated numbers for market promotion. So let's say a game says it has 1 million players in total. However, their retention rate is on 5%, so that's the amounts that players stay in the game. So that means that they only have actually like 50,000 users that actively use that, which is like a huge margin, right? Because maybe you're like, oh, maybe there's 1 million players and then they each have like 2 NFTs or something. But in actuality, maybe there's only 50,000 players with like 3 NFTs. So that's like a big difference. Third, knowing actual numbers gives you the best shot for making a great play. So for example, if users decrease, you start noticing that the chat's becoming more and more dead. But we have to also take into account the overall market, right? Since right now the overall market is kind of dead right now. So this is where you get into games that have a very active user base, even if there's a bear market, right? But if it's like a kind of like a market in between a bear bull, or if it's a bull market and users are decreasing, that's a really bad sign. Maybe that's a sign to slowly get out of that game, or vice versa. You see users increasing, the community becomes more and more passionate. There's like a cult-like fan base in there. That's a really good sign. So that could be a sign where you slowly dollar cost average in on those big dips, and maybe you even go like a lot heavier on those big dips, assuming that the team token vesting periods and all those other ones are a lot later. Alright, so here are some metrics you can actually track to help ensure that a game is growing. The first one is leadership boards and user IDs. So games usually have stats showing how many people played that day on a leadership board or users' accounts created. So this allows you to really track those active users. So it's kind of crazy, right? Because I've seen some games where they've claimed that they have like hundreds of thousands of users. Then you actually play the game and they only have like 2,000 people that played that game. So it's very important to just like try the game or just track it and to see whether they actually are increasing or not. The second one is BSC scan or whatever tracker you use, maybe for Polygon, Solana, whatever. So tracking the number one address holders overall, along with the whale's movements of addresses with a lot of tokens, will be very important to seeing the overall consensus of the game, right? So if you're noticing that the whales are trying to aggressively sell more and more, that may be a bad sign because they want to get out of the game. And also if you see that the number of address holders are decreasing over time, that means that people are losing interest. So numbers don't lie, right? So if you see like a lot of people like shilling the project, but at the same time a bunch of whales are dumping them, then that just means that the game's probably dying. Next off, we got some real market cap. So big websites like CoinMarketCap don't really update like the actual market cap of the game, right? So you can use BC Scan or other official scanners to multiply the price with the number of coins released, and then you'll get the market cap, so you can track that over time to see whether it grows or not in the long term. All right, part 2. The fourth metric you can use is marketplace volume and the floors of the various NFTs and their rarities. So you can see the amount of activity people are doing, buying and selling. So if they are actively involving traders and then volume is super increased, that's a really good sign. And also whether the floors of NFTs are increasing over time. So if the floors of NFTs are increasing over time, that's a great sign. And flip of that, or semi-flip of that, if the floors of NFTs are increasing in a token value, but maybe in another metric like USD or something, it's not, at least that's a positive sign. However, if it's decreasing in the actual token price and the overall like a stable asset like a US dollar, then that is a bad sign that people are valuing it less in both values. Fifth metric you can use are Discord and Telegram chats. So you can track how many new people tend to come in daily. So usually in a good Discord, they have like a newbie channel or like a help support channel. So then that's where you can see like new people coming in there like, oh, how should I play this game? How should I start? So you can track that over time to see how many new people actually come into that. So if there's a constant influx of new people coming, like, oh, how do I play the game? How do I get started? That's a really great sign. However, flip of that, if you don't really see any new users coming in, and then you only see old users, but then even worse, you start seeing old users disappear, where you're like, oh, what happened to that one guy I usually chat with? And then they're like migrating and they're playing other games more. That's a really bad sign, right? So last one, the sixth growth metric you can see are exposure events. So you can check how many AMAs, like Ask Me Anythings, the team is doing with other games or other venues. Like maybe it could be like an exchange, it could be like another NFT gaming guild, or just anything else, or any other like layer 1 solutions, or etc. So also partnership collabs with other games too, ad campaigns, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Medium, just any other thing. Influencer marketing too, right? Maybe they're interviewing other influencers or being interviewed by them, and then they're also having the influencers create content on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all the other different venues, and just any other events that may be seen as a bullish catalyst, because people really want to see these big headlines, these positive catalysts for them to enter the game, because once they see that, they have more confidence. So thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, comment what you think of these growth metrics, what are your personal favorite growth metrics to use and track, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And there are referral codes and a MetaMask address in the caption if you want to donate to support the channel further. Lastly, these videos are for entertainment purposes and are not recommendations, as I'm not a licensed professional. You win in crypto by surviving long-term and through collecting blue chips early, not constantly hopping from project to project, right? So that means less excessive liquidations, or less excessive leverage, less liquidations, and through protecting your capital so that you can survive long-term in the game. So NFT gaming will probably 100x, 1000x within the next like 5 to 10 years, right? So if you are able to get into blue chips early, you just hold them instead of actively trading them short term all the time, then you'll be good. Furthermore, the best investments are the ones where you have the greatest conviction in through doing your own research. So that's just not blindly following Twitter calls or YouTube calls, because by the time you hear about them on social media, it's probably too late. So the plan is to get into them super early, do your own research, and then by the time influencers pump them, you'll have 10x, 50x your coin. Furthermore, the best play isn't some token. It's through contributing your unique personality and skill set to an awesome community's needs. So everyone has a unique skill set, right? Whether it be artwork, whether it be community management, coding, just anything you can contribute to, even making memes. That's like a very highly sought after skill, believe it or not. people get paid a lot for that. So really contributes your unique personalized skill set to a community you really mesh with, and that's going to be your greatest play, which will usually come from benefits like whitelisting, exclusive NFT drops, and etc. So thank you guys for watching, and talk to y'all next time.